It was a professional, helpful meeting that afforded me the opportunity to review the entire program with the coach and gather all of the information I needed to make an important decision. I met with Coach Rodriguez this morning and informed him of my decision to relieve him of his responsibilities and to pursue new leadership for our football program. I believe this is the best decision for the future of Michigan football. I will simply say that Coach Rodriguez has faced many challenges and difficulties over his 3 years here, and I want to state for the record that I appreciate the hard work and effort that he and his staff have put forth. Rich Rodriguez is a good man. None of us are pleased with the results that we have achieved over the last 3 seasons, but I don't believe this was a result of lack of effort.
What about the future now? You have a short list on you right now, I'm assuming, and how short is that list?
Well, certainly I've given some thought to this and tried to do some planning around it, but knowing that this decision is very fresh, I have a lot of work to do. So that's where we start immediately following this session today.
Dave, keep it open. I know it's not Tom. Will there be a search committee, or is this going to be really call?
No, I don't intend to create any committees. Certainly there are people out there that are close to the program whose judgment and whose experience I value, and all of them have constantly, since I got this job in March, reached out and made their advice available, and so I'm sure there's no lack of advice in this job. But certainly it's my job to pick out those folks who give me the best advice and can help me make the best decision for Michigan football.
Obviously, Larry AJP, obviously whatever decision you make, people will slice it and dice it on campus and off. Moving forward, how important is this for the Michigan family to get behind whoever the next coach is, regardless of what their personal opinion is?
Yeah, I started in this position in March, and one of the first things I said the first day was that one of my objectives was to try to bring the Michigan community together again. We've been divided to a large extent. We continue to be divided based on all the various inputs and opinions that I get. And clearly, if we want to be successful, as a football program, as an athletic department, and we want our university to really represent what we're all about, we need to rally around our new coach. Don't find fault. Don't make hasty judgments before they arrive on campus. What we need to do is rally around our coach, support him, and do everything we can do to help him be successful. And I hope that's what our fans, our alums, and all of the folks who are connected with Michigan are prepared to do.
Dave Dye with Fox Sports Detroit. How important to you is getting a so-called Michigan man?
There are advantages and there are disadvantages to a variety of things on that job description. Whether it's a Michigan man, quote unquote, or not, what clearly is important is that whoever it is has a clear understanding of what Michigan is all about. And this is a unique place. It creates unique challenges. It also provides unique opportunities. And what I know and believe is that whoever comes into this job has to understand that clearly and be well suited for it.
So did Rich Rodriguez not understand what it was all about, what Michigan was?
I don't want to say what Rich did or didn't understand. I would just simply say that as I look forward for the successor to Rich Rodriguez, I think it's going to be very important that that individual have a clear understanding of what the University of Michigan is all about, the high expectations that exist here, the passion that we have for football, and the results that are expected.
Dave, Tom Lydon, Channel 7 here in Detroit. Can you touch on why it was that you decided very clearly to wait until after January 1st and after the bowl game to make this decision when you consider how it does put you behind the 8 ball in terms of recruiting, et cetera?
Well, first of all, from my perspective, if you terminate a coach in December, that's not exactly going to help recruiting. I mean, there's this idea that if you terminate a coach between the last game of the season and a bowl game, that somehow that's going to enhance your recruiting efforts. I don't necessarily buy into that. But fundamentally, my judgment was, and I said this repeatedly, was that the season ends with the last game, and every game is important. And I do not believe it is fair to these student athletes to put them in a position where they're going to play on a big stage, and they're going to be out there, particularly on a New Year's Day bowl on national television, and not have them be coached by their coach. And there are clearly other programs who feel differently, and they send their team out there with interim coaches or in difficult circumstances, and I don't think you put those kids in a position where they have the best chance to win. And I've said that over and over again, and I believe that. And truthfully, as we got into the back half of the season, I was looking like everybody else. I was looking for signs of improvement and progress, and having an extra 15 days of practice and an ability to prepare for one SEC team to me was just another test. It wasn't the only test, it wasn't the only criteria, but it was another test, and it was one that I was studying very carefully to see what kind of progress we were making as a program. So that was my decision, and it was my decision all the way along, and I still stand by that decision. Those players, particularly those players who had never had a chance to be in a bowl game, deserve the opportunity to go in with the best chance to win, and my judgment was that they should have the coaches who had been coaching them all season.